Nation, what he do? What he do? The Las Vegas Raiders still have problems with their offensive line, still have problems with their running game, but managed to somehow pull out a victory. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the offensive line woes. Garner Minshew wakes up in the fourth quarter. Max Crosby and Devontae Adams have to get on the locker room. All that and more coming up, of course, on Raiders
Blustering in from sea, with a rollicking song he sweeps along, swaggering boisterously. His face is weather-beaten. He wears a hooded sash, with a silver hat about his head, and a bristling black mustache. He growls as he storms the country, a villain big and bold. And the trees all shake and quiver and quake as he robs them of their gold. The autumn wind is a raider, pillaging just for fun. He'll knock you round and upside down and laugh when he's conquered and won.
You know what I like to do? Just follow me on this one.
Damn, it feels good to be a Raider, right? What's good? What's good, nation? What's up, chat? Salute to everybody pulling up. Man, what a weekend. Did I call it or what? The upset of the week, maybe the upset of the year. Who knows? Well, I don't know. I think New Orleans and Dallas kind of was a big upset. I know some of our guys, DC, played very well, but he's not a Raider. We won't talk about him on this channel right now. Anyway, so what's good? What's good? Let me know. Comment in the chats what you thought about the game. Are you excited? Are you excited about the future? Do you think the future is bright in Las Vegas? Can Garner continue what he started in the fourth quarter? It wasn't great. It wasn't pretty. Thank God we have Devontae Adams, right? Shout out to the chat. Walt, I know you're not here. Penna, I don't think you're here. Raider Ryan, salute. What's good? What's good? Jason Lockwood, thanks for pulling up. Appreciate you. Max Crosby, right? Max Crosby, always in the building. Thank God for Max Crosby. And thank God for Devontae Adams. You know, all the talk about Devontae Adams being traded. He's not happy. He doesn't want to be here. You could totally see that on the sideline, right? In the first half. The frustration, not between just him, but Myers, even the defense. Everybody was pretty upset, not just at Garner, but the offensive line. But Garner runs the show, right? It's his ship, as Antonio Pierce said. It's his show until it's not, right? So, they have to back him. They have to go with their guy, but you have to give him time. And I said last week, the keys to victory, right, were pass over the middle because their secondary, besides Humphreys, was their weak point. When we started passing over the middle, we got big chunk yardage. Devontae Shine, Brock Bowers, we'll get to that later. How about that rookie? Man, what a gem that was, right? All the people screaming, Brock Bowers in the first round, we don't need a tight end. No, we didn't, but I'm damn sure glad we got one, right? Let me know how y'all feel about that. So, the offense, 4 rushing yards, 44 yards total. That's right, total in the first half. Man, that's ugly. That's not going to cut it. That's not going to get it done in high school football, let alone the NFL, which stands for not for long when you continue to play like that. So Antonio Pierce has made it very clear. Everybody on that offensive line, probably besides Colton Miller, because if that was the case, he wouldn't have been out there last week. But according to Antonio Pierce, everybody on that offensive line is snap to snap, which it didn't look like that. They started with Whitehair at left guard, then they pulled him, went with Andres Pete. Obviously, it looked a little better, but man, it was like, poquito, very, very small. So that didn't help. They rallied the troops. They put Whitehair back in, which I was very, very surprised. Maybe they seen something in him at halftime, or he said something, or I don't know what it was. Maybe Andres Pete was just that bad, which I'm pretty sure that was the case, because they couldn't run the ball on anyone. What's good? What's good? Hold up. I'll get to the chat in a minute. The offensive line, man, like we have to do something, right? We have to mix up the offensive line. I don't know how we're gonna mix up the offensive line. I don't know when we're gonna mix up the offensive line. I don't know if JPJ is gonna be ready. Let me know in the chat, the two of you that are in here, if you think JPJ is gonna be ready to go this week against the Panthers. I mean, what better opportunity to put the rookie in the game than against a team that's worse than the NFL and just benched their first overall pick? You know what I mean? Like, so let's get to the chat. What's good? What's good? Salute, salute. Whoever just popped in. Chat wise. Alpha Kasi Raider. What's good, man? What's good? Shit. I'll send you a link if you want to pull up. I don't know if you got time, but what do you think about the victory? Victory Monday is always good, right? Always good. I don't think our D is some mean mugs. What? And could get a lot better if they stay healthy. Really need Kuntz and Wilson back. I thought, come on, dog. I thought we played very, very, very well in the absence of Kuntz. Now, yes, absolutely 100% if we had Malcolm Kuntz. I mean, definitely, bro, right? We'd definitely be better. He's faster than Max Crosby. He has more bend. Yeah, he doesn't have the technique. No, I'm not saying he's better than Max Crosby. I know some people will misconstrue my words. They like to do that a lot in this YouTube game. But, however, I think we're fine without him. We still, I thought Robinson, J. Rob got to the quarterback, pretty well. It wasn't as often as we needed. He didn't really pressure him, but at least he had, the tackle or whoever was on him pretty much in the quarterback's face more than he wanted. I guarantee you that. And I really, really like Snowden out there. He's just going to get better and better with more reps. I thought he had a couple good plays on the run and on, pass rush. So definitely, I mean, we need Malcolm Kuntz. That's, one of our star players. It sucks for him that he got hurt on a contract year. I mean, that's just absolutely horrible to see. That was one of my favorite players. If you watch any of my videos, that was my breakout star this year. And I was saying, pay him right away. Well, I'm glad they didn't listen to me and paid him right away, because the way I'm seeing it is, man, he was wearing that knee brace in practice. I was going back and looking at some old clips, of practice when they were in California. He had a new kind of a knee brace on then. So it's not like a new thing. It's definitely been bothering him for a while. And there are some sources say that he's out for the season. So, for him to be hurt, non-contact injury in practice does not look good. But it's next man up. And I thought the guys next man up played very, very well in their absence. And, with Crosby and Wilkins out there and Robert Spillane, man, shout out to Robert Spillane, right? Like, without Robert Spillane, like, a lot of people say Max Crosby. I mean, he is. Max Crosby is the man. This is his team. But Robert Spillane, bro, without Robert Spillane, once they get past that first level, there's really nobody that could tackle. This is just my opinion. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Speak your mind, of course. But, however, who's back there that could tackle? Epps looks horrible. Yeah, they picked it up a tiny bit this week. Moreg back there looked horrible tackling again. Divine Diablo, Rated Ryan, what's good? What's good? Divine Diablo again. I think he had a 70% uh, PFF rating, which I don't know. I don't trust their grades because some of their grades are just absolutely ridiculous. Because from what I've seen, he still missed tackles that cost us big plays again. Robert Spillane is our defensive savior. Yeah, like 100%. The man is everywhere the ball is, nonstop, constantly. And without him, bro, we would be hurting. Like, hurting. And that's just my opinion. Jack is Jack. But a couple times he's getting beat out there. A couple of those big passes were on Jack Jones. And I know he's not going to be able to shut down people all the time. But if you want to be that Deion Sanders shut down type of corner, you can't get beat on big plays like that, especially from guys smaller and faster than you. Like, I can't remember number 4, but dude was killing it out there. Our run defense, man, run defense. Now I made a whole mess last week. I was very, very upset that we lost that game. We should have never lost the game. However, 1% every day is what they preach in practice over and over again. You hear the players say it, you hear the coaches say it, defensive coordinator says it, everybody says 1%, 1%. And I think they're getting 1% better. Like, I don't know how much that 1% is helping, but it definitely improved this week. I thought they mixed up the defensive line very, very well this week. I thought Adam Butler was out there a lot more, and it seemed like the run stopping, in my opinion, was a lot better. What's good in the comments? Sorry, I meant our D is mean mugs. Yeah, our defense is nasty, but that backfield still scares me. Like, if it doesn't scare anybody else, that's cool, but it worries the hell out of me. Last season was great. They ended very, very well, but like they said, last season is over. We play a bunch of different teams, a bunch of different schemes. We have new faces. But how about Ja'Cory and Bennett, right? Like, a lot of content creators out there and a lot of people in Raider Nation always in the chat, because I'm always in the chats. We're screaming, Ja'Cory and Bennett's a bust. Ja'Cory and Bennett, we need a number 2 corner. Well, man, if he continues to play like that, I think he is silencing the critics, right? A huge play when we needed it, because if he didn't break up that pass, bro, that's a touchdown, and the whole game has changed. So appreciate you. Spillane, our defensive warrior, right? I agree. Can't forget Spillane. 100. Damn, I don't know who just started live, but everybody dipped. So, run. Yes, our offense, O-line, we talked about that in the beginning, looked just nasty out there. And pass protection and run protection, we can only run to the left side. We can't run to the right side. We run most of our plays to the right side. Garner breaks containment to the right side almost 98% of the time, if not 99.999% of the time. So something's going to have to change in the offensive line. But give these running backs a little bit of slack. They only had 17 carries between three backs and one carry for Gardner and two carries from some receivers. I guess they were counted as receivers. I don't know if they were handoff. They look like, little touch passes to me. We'll get to Gardner later. But our running back showed promise in preseason. I know it was only preseason, and people say preseason don't count, but preseason counts, bro. It's it's reps. They're still players in the NFL. When he was in there, it was the first string rep, first team for a lot of those reps, and he had some big bursts and some big plays. He had some big bursts and some big plays last week. Of course, the fumble and the one called back that wasn't a holding call, absolutely ridiculous call. These guys need a chance. You have to have more than 9 carries. Zeus had, I don't know what he had, 40-something yards, maybe. I don't know what it was. Ridiculously low on 9 carries. Sorry, I'm not trying to pull it up right now. But that's not going to cut it in the NFL. And if you watched any of my videos or any of my lives before, I've said it over and over and over again. For Zamir White to be the running back they want him to be, he has to be that Josh Jacobs load man. He has to carry the ball more than 20 times a game. And it showed last year when he got more than 20 touches, he got over 100 yards each game. Even against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are shut down defense. I mean, just look what they did. Oh, sorry. I was watching the game for a second. Big play. But, I mean, just look what they did last week to Lamar Jackson. They gave up 120 yards to Lamar Jackson. But their running back, Derrick Henry, got pretty much nothing. 54, 58 yards. If we get decent offensive play this year, we're going to win a lot of games. I've been saying that from the get-go. It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, but I've changed my mind on that. That quarterback play was decent, and yes, Garner's going to look great out there because he went 30 for 36 or whatever his stats was. But if you go back and look at the game, 30 of 36, over 15 of those passes were 5 yards or shorter. And I believe like 10 or 12 of them, Raiders, what's good? Salute my man for pulling up. I appreciate you. But I believe, I don't know where my Raiders thing went. There we go. Yeah, so I believe the Condor, right? The Condor is a beast. Some cool stats I've seen first time since 2013. Ravens went 0-7 third down conversions last half. Yeah, I mean there was some definitely great stats, and we'll get to that here in a bit. If you're still here, the culture changed. Antonio Pierce, we're going to talk about that and what it means for this team and the fight that this team is, the grittiness. We'll get to that here in a bit. Lamar, first time losing back-to-back games in 3 years. Yeah, Lamar Jackson losing back-to-back games in 3 years is a shocker, but the fact that they lost at home is a real big shocker, because if you look at the Ravens record, I don't have it. I'm not going to pull up the stats right now because I'm trying to watch the game at the same time, but if you look at their record, they don't lose at home very often with Lamar Jackson. Their defense is shut down when it comes to, protecting their house. They're very good at protecting their house. So the fact that we went in there and won, is a huge plus. The fact that we went in there and beat a team that was in the AFC Championship last year is a huge plus. The fact that we beat a team that still almost had 400 yards and 100 yards in penalties is a gigantic plus. If we could just get consistent quarterback play and 100 yards a game from our running backs between the two of them, bro, the sky is the limit for this team, and we're beating a lot of teams. Now, I hate to keep tooting my own horn, but I've said it many times in all my videos and lives. With this defensive line and the linebackers we have, minus Diablo, I'm sorry, he played all right last week. But if we can change him and get somebody else in there that could stop the run, this defense is nasty. You see what they did to Lamar Jackson. You've seen what they did to one of the best quarterbacks in the league and Justin Sherbert. You know, they held him to under 150 yards passing. Lamar did a little bit better passing wise, but they didn't give up huge runs in the run game. So we'll take the passing yards, right? Because if you just pressure him, he's going to make mistakes. We've seen from that interception. We'll get into that later. But yeah, beating Lamar Jackson, you know, to start the Ravens 0-2 is huge. That team was on fire last year, but they have problems on their offensive line. And I said last week in my live, if you were in here and watched it, I said it was going to be a big problem. No matter if Kuntz or Tyree was out there, because they're swapping out their rookie right tackle with their veteran right tackle, and then they're also putting them on the left side. So they're moving this rookie from the left side to the right side against Max Crosby and Christian Wilkins, which is an absolute huge mistake, right? Let me know in the chat, whoever's in here, do you think it's a good idea to switch any tackle, to swap tackles during a game, like one's better than blocking and one's better at pass protection? Do you believe in swapping guys out? Let me know. 1 for yes, 2 for no. In my opinion, bro, that's just crazy wild, because if that's the case, for one, they know it's going to be a run. Now, if you're that good at run blocking and you have a running back like Christian McCaffrey and you can be the 49ers and let everybody know you're running and still run the ball down their throat, then that's a different story, right? You don't really care. You can do that. But now with the rookie that wasn't drafted, where was he drafted? Did he go before DJ Glaze? Somebody in the chat, please let me know. Look it up. Because if I look it up, I'm going to lose concentration on what I was talking about. But yeah, that was an amazing stat. Also, I'll get to the rest of y'all in a minute. Another huge stat in the culture change for Antonio Pierce. Man, what Antonio Pierce means to this team, to this defense, to even the organization. There's a lot of people that say the coaches are the worst in the NFL. We're at the bottom of the list. Yeah, we lost to Harbaugh. But should we have lost that game? No, we shouldn't have. We definitely should have won that game. We just couldn't get quarterback play like we got in the fourth quarter last week, right? Because if we would have got quarterback play like we got in the fourth quarter last week, we definitely would have walked away with a dub. I mean, that's just my opinion. We hold Herbert to under 150 yards. They have 3-point, under 3 yards a carry, minus the 3 or 4 big rushes. So we gave up third down conversions in the first half this season yet. Have we gave up? I think the Ravens had one, didn't they? 1 or 2. I think they did have a couple of third down conversions, but our third down defense, like I said last week, we needed to have on the field a lot more, and that was Adam Butler. I think it was Snowden on the other side, Crosby and Christian Wilkins, and they were taking Diablo out, and it worked. It seemed to work. I don't know if they were putting Masterson in there or, who was in there. I'll have to go back and watch the film. But it worked this week. Tackling was a little bit better. The defensive front was way better. But the fact that we could get, like I was going back talking about earlier, the fact that we can get pressure on these quarterbacks, no matter who it is just a game changer. We just need a quarterback and a running game to be halfway consistent. They don't even have to be consistent all the time. Just be halfway consistent, right? Show us something. Don't start out slow every week. And what still bothers the shit out of me, excuse my language, But what still bothers the heck out of me is that Antonio Pierce said they want to start out fast, and we haven't started out fast one game. Now they made a change at the offensive line with Whitehair, then Pete, then back to Whitehair. But if Gardner continues to struggle in the first half against the Carolina Panthers, even if it's the offensive line's fault, isn't that why he's in there? Because we knew our offensive line was going to have struggles. I mean, let's call it a buck, right? Let's be honest, 100%. If we're being honest, Gardner was in there because of his veteran locker room leadership and because he gave us the best chance to win because of his mobility. We're not seeing the mobility and we're not seeing the best chance to win because he's not making plays with his legs. When they ran called bootlegs, it was our biggest plays last week and it was again our biggest plays this week. So last week I said for us to win, the key was to unleash Garner and let Garner be Garner. And I think when Max Crosby got in his ass, pause if necessary, on the sideline, whatever he said to him, it didn't really light a fire under him because the third quarter he didn't come out hot and they weren't great. They got some penalties, they got some pass interference calls, and they got some short field. But the fact that we had the ball inside our 40 3 times in the first half and came away with no points because they took a sack or turned the ball over is we can't do that. Like once we get past the 50-yard line, you got to get something, bro. Like you can't have the ball inside the 40 and take a sack and get us out of field goal range when you're brought in because you're a mobile quarterback. What else? What else? Bro, it's good if Garner gives us decent play. We're still a possible franchise quarterback still on the bench. I mean, yeah, it's definitely good. It's definitely good for, I mean, all the way around. You see, Aiden O'Connell, after the game, was one of the first ones to get up and run over there and hug Gardner Minshew. You know, that's huge, and that shows the character of Aiden O'Connell. To me, that was big. For him to run over there and be the first one, you know, to hug Gardner and celebrate after, as soon as they kicked that field goal. To me, just I don't know. I don't have words, but that was inspiring as hell to see that young man step up. Play calling needs to be better. Run play calling or offensive play calling, Pinna, because to me, I watched the tape. I went back and watched the game. I watched it for the second time completely. And what I was looking at was offensive line and receivers. I was, you know, both kind of trying to watch both the offensive line, not the whole time, just at the start to see, you know, if Garner had time to throw the ball or if he was making bad decisions or was just hesitant to pull the trigger, which he was definitely again. But there's guys open. There's guys open all over the field on pretty much every pass play we called. There was one or two guys open, and you've seen a whole lot of pump fakes. Now, if I'm lying, I'm dying. Go back and watch the tape, but count how many pump fakes Gardner had and didn't throw the ball. That's being scared, bro. You can't be timid. It's the NFL. That's just my opinion. Billy D, what's good? What's good? Shout out. How about them Raiders? Where's it at? Where's it at?
Raiders!
For sure, for sure. What else we got? What's good? The team is possibly the tightest as far as brotherhood. Then you can imagine that's special to see. I mean, we've talked about that on this channel a lot, and I've said that was the reason I picked him to go 13-4, and people thought I was crazy. Billy D knows, he was in here. Pinna been in the chat. Like I've been saying 13-4 all season long, all off season, just because the defense is nasty, and we just need decent quarterback play. And Gardner showed. I mean, it wasn't great. If I got up here and said I'm on the Garner bandwagon and I have total faith in Gardner Minshew, bro, I'd absolutely be lying to you, and I'm not gonna do that. He played well. He made some good passes. If you look at his stat sheet, yes, he was 30 for 36 or 37, And yes, he had a 75% completion ratio. And yes, that's best in the NFL. Shout out to Gardner Minshew, right? But come on, man. Let's call a spade and a buck, right? Almost 20 of those passes were behind the line of scrimmage or behind the 5 yard line. When he took a shot, they were completions. And that's what we need him to do. Like, he played a damn good game, minus the timidness. Like, once, whatever Max Crosby said to him, and then again, Devontae Adams in the locker room said he went off in the locker room and had to use some choice words and some choice tones of voice. So that tells me that Devontae Adams reamed some people's ass in the locker room, which is great to see because last year he didn't do that. He just showed his frustration by leaving the game, not showering, not doing his press conferences. And a lot of people, lost a little bit of respect for him. Was like, man, what's up with Tay? But this year, he's like, no, I'm speaking my mind. So I thought that was huge. I thought it fired up the offensive line a little bit. They came out with a little bit more a little bit more grittiness. But it's going to take time, bro. We can't expect Colton Miller, who's never played a wide zone in his career on the offensive line. And I don't know how much, 11 or 12 personnel he's ran. But I know we didn't run much 12 personnel last year with the Raiders or the year before. We are 1-1, right? Like I said at the beginning of the show, if you missed it, damn, it feels good to be a Raider, right? We love these times. 1-1. It's a game where everybody, most of the world had us losing. Rick, what's good? What's good? So proud of our guys, right? I mean, it's huge. It's a game that most of the world had us losing. They had us as 9-point underdogs. That is the biggest disrespect. The last time I seen a team at 9-point underdogs, because look, I'm from Vegas. I was from Vegas. I lived there most of my life, right? I'm not there now, but I did some gambling. I gambled on a lot of football. Before you could do it online, it was cool. I can't remember a team with the potential, or even a team that was, what they rank our defense, 15th? 15th with the worst quarterback in the league and the worst running back room. Still, with that defense being 9-point underdogs, yeah, we were going in to Baltimore. Yeah, they don't lose in Baltimore. Yeah, we were 0-7 when it comes to East Coast games in the morning. Blah, 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 blah. But we hung in there, right? We hung in there till the end. We showed fight. We showed grittiness. We showed toughness. Did we show the toughness and the tenacity and the ill intent and the violence and the physicality that Antonio Pierce preaches? No, we did not. On defense, yes. On the defensive line. But in the backfield, I could count numerous times where Marcus Epps had a chance to just de-head somebody. And instead, he ran up, stopped, grabbed the ball because somebody was holding him, and tried to rip the ball out. Like, that's not your job as a safety, bro. Especially the safety. You're not free safety. Like, your job is to come up Ronnie Lott style and dislodge balls, to make tackles, not dive for people's feet and totally miss and whiff. Him, Moreg, I don't know what they're teaching tackling wise. Devon Diablo, same thing. Again this week. I mean, they picked it up a little bit, but we can't have that. All those big plays are from missed tackles, and it's not the defensive line, and it's not one linebacker, Spillane, because he makes almost all our tackles. So you're going what? You're going to Slepland to Raiders and chat. Have a good night. All right, man. Shout out. Thanks for pulling up. I appreciate you. But yeah, so backed out when they started Garner. Look, I've said it and I've said it before. Gardner Minshew can be and is a damn good quarterback. Now, is he top 15? No. Obviously, people don't even think he's top 30 because of what they have him at, 31 or 28. Shout out Pena, appreciate you pulling up. So, I mean, we don't even have to be the Garner. I'm not going. Oh wait, we don't even have to see the Garner Minshew that we seen in the fourth quarter, but we have to see him make plays. Now I've seen a whole bunch of content creators talk about Devonte Adams dropped this ball. Devonte Adams dropped this ball. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Devonte Adams 2 drops were on Devonte Adams? From what I've seen, and this is just my personal opinion, the one crossing route he should have had. Yeah, it was at his knees. But come on, that's Devonte Adams, and you know he catches those 99.9% of the times, right? But the one in the end zone that was thrown below his knees when his running backwards, he turns and looks. So when you're running this way, your momentum's carrying you this way. When you're running that way and you got to turn around, your momentum's still carrying you away, right? So if your momentum's carrying you that away and the ball is at your feet, you can't expect even Devonte Adams to catch that. You can't expect any receiver in the NFL to come up with that ball. Yes, it hit his hands, but he was still, his momentum was pulling him away, and you can only hold your arms there so long. He didn't have enough time to close his hands. Now, if the ball was thrown at his chest or at his face mask, bro, that's a tutty all day long, right? That's a touchdown, no problem. So another pass, the sideline play. Now, Devonte Adams is what, 6'1", I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere in there. But when you're 6'1" and you have to use all six, what? Oh no, you're good. You're good. If you're 6'1" and you have to use all 6'1" of your body to reach for a ball out of bounds and tiptoe like at the very, like, I don't know how he kept the tippy toes of his feet down. But if you have to stretch 6 feet out of bounds to catch a pass, and all these people are saying, "Oh, Garner did great and Garner won us the game," come on, man. Let's be honest with us, with ourselves. LVR, what's good? Did Garner really win us that game, or it was the defense and a little help from the Ravens? Because look, I love the Raiders. I love the fact that we won, but our offensive line is like a paper towel trying to stop freight trains out there. Like, they're just getting murdered and destroyed. And if we can't run the ball and we can't pass block, bro, what are we gonna do? So we have to improve. But on the upside, LVR, salute, salute. On the upside is from the first game with the Chargers to going to the Ravens, back-to-back road games, to me was almost night and day. Like, the offensive line wasn't great, but they gave him a little bit more protection. Garner still kind of looked like a deer in the headlights. The first half and part of the third quarter was just afraid to let the ball loose. Like, I've never seen so many times somebody pump fake the ball and not throw it. Like, usually when you pump fake, it's to freeze a guy or to get a guy to bite, and then you throw the ball quick, right? But to pump fake and then to pump fake again and to hold it and get sacked, I just don't understand. But other than that, it's still a victory. But the fact that we can improve from week to week, also the fact that we game plan last year with Bo Hardegree, which give Bo Hardegree all the credit in the world, because towards the end of the season, I really liked the way our offense was going. And I think Devonte Adams, you know, all of them, Aiden O'Connell, Jacoby Myers, everybody was pretty happy with the offense, right? The last 4 or 5 games of the season, I thought it started to click. It started to play very well. What y'all think? You think it started to click, last year with the offense? I thought it started to click. They started to play very well. But this year, man, it's just a total different story, right? It's a new offense. It's a new offensive coordinator, and we're going to have to give it time. But one thing they did do that we didn't see last year. Fuck, sorry, phone is going off. One thing they did do that we didn't see last year was win, or any year, right? Any year was win a game in the fourth quarter. Now, yeah, we got some help from the Ravens. We got some help from the refs. How about the refs? For the first time in a long time, like, let's keep it a buck, a buck's a buck. That pass interference in the end zone with Devontae Adams should not have been a call, bro. Like, come on. If you're an honest Raiders fan, type one for yes, two for no. If you think that was really pass interference, Devontae grabbed him first, tried to turn him, didn't work, and did a veteran move and flopped. That's great. That's a great play. I thought it was awesome. We got a flag, but bro, that was not a pass interference, and it should have been a no call. And I think it's great that we can actually get some calls from the ref because we never see things go our way. The interception I thought was a key turning point to this game and why we won this game. You know, Robert Spillane gets credit for the interception, of course, because he was the man that came up with the ball. But Jacorian Bennett, bro, shout out to Jacorian Bennett coming in there, tackling like a dog, ripping the ball away right into Spillane's hands and giving us the ball in short field. And shout out to Gardner Minshew in the offense for actually getting it down there and getting it in the end zone. I thought that was a key turning point in the game. It put us back in the game, but we were still playing far behind. You know, shout out to the special teams, Daniel Carlson, 4 field goals, a couple long ones. You know, last week he missed one that hurt us very, very bad. This week, different story. He's money like he always is, which we all pretty much knew that was going to happen. Um, Garner didn't win shit. Defense, Daniel Carlson, money in the bag, carried Minshew. The game is another game with 1 touchdown. If an interception and fumble, he's thrown 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 3 fumbles for the season. Well, the one fumble, I don't know if they counted as a fumble because I didn't see it on the stat sheet. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know why, but it was definitely a fumble. But maybe because he got it back, they didn't count it as a fumble. I don't know. They do shit weird when it comes to the Raiders. But, bro, I agree with you 100%. And I had some film I was going to pull up, but for some reason it's not letting me download. But there was a play, right? And this is the third quarter after Garner got yelled at. 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 1 lost. Damn, bro. Yeah, I mean, that's not good. That's not a great start, right? Aiden O'Connell lost his job because he threw 1 interception for a touchdown in the preseason. And I don't care what anybody says. You say that's not the reason he lost his job. Come on, man. That's a big, huge part of it, right? But on the other hand, Garner didn't play great. He hasn't played great for 6 quarters, 7 quarters, even 8 quarters. I mean, if we are totally honest, Brock Bowers made some amazing catches. And I guess I'll have to make a video and put it out. Check that out. What's today? Monday, Wednesday, probably. But Brock Bowers, which I guess we'll get to Brock Bowers. We're going to talk about him later on, but I guess we'll just bring him up now. Made some great catches for a rookie. That dude made some great catches, again, at his knees. I don't know what it is with Garner throwing the ball at people's feet. Like, I don't think he's trying to put it where only the receiver can catch it or something. I don't know what the deal is with that. But Brock Bowers made some great catches. Michael Mayer, dude. Michael Mayer made an amazing catch. I think it was the only pass he ever got. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but what do you have? 1 catch? But it was a huge catch. Where should have been an interception in my point if the receiver was looking back at the ball. I mean, it's a pick all day. He just looked a little bit too late, and Michael Mayer's just way too strong and just took it away from him. You can't have plays like that. But I counted 4 plays so far on the tape that I was watching where Garner had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 guys wide open, bro. And there was 5 times where if he would just waited a half more second or a second or got his head upfield instead of looking around at the pressure that wasn't even coming yet, we could have had some big plays. And I think they're going to have to watch tape and see that, yeah, we won the game, but did we really win the game? I mean, I don't think. I think the Ravens did what we did last week, and this is just my personal opinion. The Ravens beat themselves. Like I said earlier, they had 109 yards in penalties. They couldn't convert on third down. Which shout out to our defense. Like their third down defense is amazing. They were last year, and they put that third down defense on the field a lot more this game, and I thought it helped us a lot. But they had some big passes. They just weren't big plays in the right times. But those penalties hurt them. The interception hurt them. The face mask that wasn't a face mask, that was actually a late hit after the fact. I don't, the refs helped us out in this game, right? Two bad calls. If I'm a Ravens fan, I'm not happy about either one of those pass interference calls. And let's keep it a buck. If those pass interference calls were reversed on Jack Jones, and it was Jack Jones getting called for that pass interference in the end zone, would y'all be happy? I think if our offense played decent in the first half, we would have won by more. Um, bro, we could have won that game by a lot more, and we could have won the game last week by a lot more. We just have a timid quarterback that doesn't believe in himself. He's playing like he's playing not to lose his job, which maybe in his head he knows that Aiden O'Connell should be the quarterback of that team, but we have no offensive line, and he's like, so why put me out there? Like put him out there and let him get smacked around. Like I don't know. Like I don't think he wants to run for his life, but that's his game. Like he's not a mobile quarterback. So if you can't call a bootleg every single play, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But please roll him out to the left hand side once in a while and not always to the right. Can he not throw on his left? I don't know. I don't know what's up with that. Cool Kev in the building. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, man. What do you think about the game? What do you think about Garner? Let me know. Let me know your opinions. But yeah, I think everybody dipped. They went to somebody else's live. I don't know. But I forgot what I was talking about again. Oh, yeah. I thought our captains helped this game huge, tremendously. Max Crosby's pressures and tackles for a loss were only on the stat sheet. But the plays that weren't on the stat sheet, where he's just disrupting guys, making guys jump off sides, abusing the rookie, right? Just taking full advantage of that kid when he was out there and the veteran. Max Crosby, in my opinion, should get MVP, but I think somebody else deserves the MVP, and that's Davante Adams, bro. Davante Adams just played like Davante Adams. There was a bunch of catches where he shouldn't have caught, like always, but he made a play. The pass interference that we got when Garner threw the ball up is a veteran move, and people be like, oh, Aiden O'Connell wouldn't have done that. Go back and watch the tape. He did that so many times last year. He got a bunch of flags just throwing the ball up. It's not just a veteran move. Like when you got one-on-one coverage with Davante Adams and they're not looking back, yeah, you're gonna throw the ball because they're gonna have to grab him as soon as they put his hands up, and he puts his hands up so late and so fast that they don't have a choice. So I thought Davante Adams minus the 2 drops. One was his fault, one wasn't. Either way, you got to have those balls, both of them. And if you ask Davante Adams, he said, whether it was the quarterback misthrowing or my fault, I got to have those either way. But as a quarterback, bro, you got to put them where they can catch them. There's too many throws placed where guys could have had huge yak yardage, but they had to stop and reach back for the ball. And those hospital balls are going to get somebody hurt out there. So hopefully they fix that, like they kind of fixed the tackling. And hopefully this line, with one more week and going up against a Carolina team, we'll talk about Andy Dalton here, I guess, going up a Carolina team that is struggling. they benched their first overall pick in the NFL draft that they gave up. I don't know what I can't even remember, but whatever they gave up was absolutely ridiculous to go get Ryan Leaf. Wait, not Ryan Leaf. To, not Ryan Leaf. To go get Bryce Young. So, yeah, they gave up the house like everybody wanted the Raiders to do this year to go get Jaden Daniels or Michael Penix, but they moved up. They got Bryce Young. And my man has been sat down for Andy Dalton. Now, I know we're like, Andy Dalton, please. But look, let's be honest. This Carolina team is still an NFL team. They still have decent running backs. They have decent receivers. Their O-line is not absolute garbage. It might be a little bit better than ours. Absolute. I mean, right now, Bryce Young is just having a problem adapting to the speed of the NFL, the size, the players. Maybe it's the play calling. Maybe it's the coaching. I don't know. But Bryce Young has been sat down, and Andy Dalton will take over. And I know we're like, oh, okay, Andy Dalton. We don't have to worry about Bryce Young running. No. But we have to worry about Andy Dalton throwing the ball because he's 4-0 against the Raiders franchise lifetime. And the man could still sling the ball. Like, so we can't go in there sleeping at home. I don't think. Speaking of, this is the one time I think in Allegiant Stadium where we actually have a chance to black out the stadium. So if you're a diehard Raider fan, hit that sub button, hit that like button, show up to Allegiant Stadium, black out the stadium, because I don't think there's going to be very many Panthers fans there. I mean, you'd have to be very, very loyal, like more loyal than this right here. You'd have to be more loyal than that to show up in Allegiant Stadium all the way from Carolina to watch your team possibly get destroyed, right? That's just crazy talk. So if there's ever an opportunity we can black out Allegiant Stadium, it is definitely this week coming up. AP has given the team heart, and it has showed big time. Facts. We saved our season. That's all I need to say. Yeah, because if we started 0-2 with the Chiefs 2-0 and them sneaky Chargers, which I don't know if you watch my lives, but man, shout out to my guy. I argue with him over and over again. DSR, you were right. You were right. Jim Harbaugh had that team, has that team ready to go. Bro, way more than I ever thought. Like, I did not expect them to be as good as they are with a rookie tackle, with the new scheme, with the new defense, with the new offense. Bro, I know. That's what I'm saying. Andy with his experience is better than Young. And as bad as that sounds, 100%, right? He can sling the ball. He can still throw it. I think he beat us when he was on the Cowboys. I think he's beat us 3 times as a Bengal. The man can throw the ball, right? He throws it around the field. He's got some receivers, and they can be sneaky. We have to re-game plan, which I know. Thank goodness, 44, I was born a Raider. What's good. I'm 49. I was born a Raider also. Only one other team. Raiders. But yeah, so what was I saying? Andy Dalton is dangerous and can be dangerous. He snuck up on a bunch of teams. What was it, the year before last when he got some playtime and kept the Cowboys in some games when Dak got hurt? I don't know, 3 years ago, whatever. But Andy Dalton can still throw the ball. Facts. Lockwood, our offense was terrible first half. Bro, our offense was terrible for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quarters and part of an 8th quarter. We did have some big plays. That's a plus. And I've been saying Getsy's offense is very, very dangerous. And if this offensive line and this running game ever gets going, teams are not going to want to play us. Teams already don't want to play us because their offense is going to struggle. Like I said, and I said it earlier in the live, I'll go back to it again. When you only have 2, 3, 4 seconds to throw the ball, your schemes become way, way different. Why is my camera all fucked up? What the hell? That's crazy. But your schemes become way different, man. This offensive line, you see what they did to the MVP last year and the best, according to Devontae, ball carrier ever in the history of the NFL. I mean, that's crazy talk. And look what the Raiders did to them. So I said it and I said it again. I predicted us to be 13-4, and I'm still standing by it. Like, we still have a chance to do that if we ever get fired and going with a consistent quarterback play and a running game in this offensive line. Because if they can protect Gardner or whoever's in there, man, we have too many weapons. And that's my next subject and will be my last. And then I'm getting out of here. Trey Tucker not involved. Jacoby Myers not really involved. Brock Bowers 9 catches. Devontae 10 catches. Are there going to be some upset people? Now, I know people are going to be like, oh, shut up. They just want to win. It doesn't matter. But come on, man. There's a reason, and there's a big reason. San Francisco 49ers offered to trade for Jacoby Myers because they're like, bro, this guy has potential to be that guy. Kittle's hurt. McCaffrey's hurt. Like, and he's not going to get the ball as much as he did last year. And people are going to get frustrated. But if we can move it around and Gardner can go through his progressions and keep everybody happy, bro, this offense is unstoppable. Go check out my videos where I said we have a chance of being a top 10 offense. And people thought I was crazy. And they went and commented crazy shit afterwards because they're like, bro, we have no chance of being a top 10 offense. But yes, we do. We just need Gardner to be Gardner. Take the handcuffs off like they did in the second half. Whatever happened, whatever, you know, AP said and Devontae said and Max Crosby said, it didn't help much because he can't make the throws he needs to make. That's let's be honest, he can't. But if he can put the ball close enough where they can catch it and not get intercepted, man, we have receivers. What's good? What's good? Salute, Ray Love. We have receivers that can make plays. Like, these guys will catch almost anything thrown to them. Brock Bowers, rookie, tight end, 9 attempts, 9 catches, almost 100 yards. With Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers, if you just had those two on your offense, that's an unstoppable offense if you have a running game. But to have both of those guys and a Jacoby Myers and a Trey Tucker, man, come on. Like, it's nasty work. So Gardner just needs to let it go. Quit missing guys. Keep your head up. Quit paying attention to the run. And check out my video I'm dropping Wednesday because there's a lot of things that we still need to be worried about. And I'm not the only one. Listen to the head coach, Antonio Pierce. It'll be in the video. He said himself, there's a lot of things the Raiders need to fix. And yes, 44 yards in the first half is not going to cut it. 4 rushing yards is not going to cut it. 17 carries is not going to cut it. So we definitely have to step it up. But like I said last week, I thought we could beat the Ravens. We did. Exactly how I said. We uncuffed Gardner. It took 3 quarters to do it. We did it without the running game. We did it with a little bit of luck, a little bit of help from the refs. Again, shout out to the refs. One time on our side. And some bad plays. But last but not least, and then I'm going to get out of here. Let me know in the chat. Oh, the 2 people that are in here. Why does everybody keep leaving? Do you think we could have lost that game in the last seconds? Lamar Jackson had a wide open field. He was at the 15-yard line, and he pitches back to an offensive lineman when I don't know what Jacorian Bennett or whoever the guy was that was down there coming down the sideline was doing, but for some reason he wasn't coming at the ball carrier, Lamar Jackson, and that dude needed 15 yards for a touchdown to win the game on like a 40 whatever yard scramble, and he pitched the game. So I thought that was very, very interesting. I'm going to talk about that in my video also. Like, I don't know what was up with that. What is going on? Did it have something to do with betting, with sports. I don't know. But man, I don't know why you would pitch the ball backwards when you're the most dynamic runner of all times, according to Vontae, with the ball in your hand. Why would you pitch the ball backwards? I thought that was crazy as hell. So, yeah, that's Nets. That's when Aiden takes over top 10. Man, I don't know. I don't know. It's looking like if Gardner could just keep pulling games out of his ass and going 30 for 36, which, like I said, over half of those plays were for 10 yards or less. So if you can't throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, which I think there was 8 throws behind the line of scrimmage or more, I don't know. I'll have to break that down in the video too. Like, bro, we're not going to win football games. We can't rely on this defense to get a turnover. When we get a turnover, at least one in the game, we win. And also, shout out to the culture change of Antonio Pierce, because I'm going to end with this. And if you made it this far in the video, you're a diehard Raiders fan. If you haven't made it this far in the live, then, man, you're jacked. Fucked up. But anyway, 2 penalties for 15 yards. 2 penalties again. 2 penalties last week, 15 yards. 2 penalties this week for 15 yards. The tide has shifted. I said it all offseason. People thought I was crazy. The discipline is there. The tackling will get better. It has to get better. If not, it's next man up, and they will be replaced. But I believe it's going to get better. I believe it got better this week than it was last week. 49 games. 49 games in the NFL, the Las Vegas Raiders have lost when they were down 10 points in the fourth quarter. Yesterday, all that changed. And hopefully with that change comes a change of culture, a change of win-loss record, a change of disrespect, non-belief in this coach, the running game, the coaching staff, and everything Raiders, because that is huge for this organization, for the team, for the players, for the coaches, for a team that is always number one in penalties for as long as I've been alive and can remember. To have back-to-back games with 2 penalties, 15 yards, to have 2 games last year with no penalties, the first team since 1965 to do that in the NFL in a season. Raider Nation, this is a new time. It's a new day. It's a new era. Have faith in this team. Raiders. Much love, because we're getting better every day. We will progress every day. We will continue to get better. And we are pretty dominant right now, squeaking out some wins. If we can continue to get things going in our favor, kickers to kick balls 15 yards at the end of the game and give us the ball inside their 40, where we have to do nothing but kick a field goal and run the clock out. If we can get quarterbacks to throw interceptions in short fields, if we can get our quarterback to do one thing and one thing only that I haven't seen him do, except for a little bit in the fourth quarter.
Dad, get your balls back.
Get his balls back. Gardner Minshew, I hope yesterday was a huge kick in the ass for you and motivation. D Menace, you always come when I'm leaving. And motivation for you to get your shit together and just be the quarterback we need you to be, bro. You have the defense. You have the best defense you've ever played on in your career. You have the best receiver in the history of the NFL, maybe by the time he's done. And you have a coach that allows you to be you. Well, okay, they really haven't allowed you to be you. But if they could let you be you like they did in the fourth quarter, man, this team is going to be scary. And a lot of my videos are going to make a lot more sense. Like they're starting to anyways. What's good, D-Manus? Shout out to my mod pulling up in the building. What did you think about the Raiders' victory? Did you think we dominated like all the content creators are saying, like all the media saying? Or did you think almost 400 yards offense for the Ravens is not really a domination? And we got lucky for the first time in 20 or 30 years, bro, because from what I seen, we had a lot of things fall our way. Some interception calls, a bad kick, the turnover. We had a lot of things fall in our lap. And now Garner looks like this hero. But I hope the expectations for the offensive line and the quarterback doesn't get too huge, because there was a lot of plays that weren't great, but it can all be cleaned up, right? So with that, much love. I'm out. Enjoy y'all's Monday. I'm going to go get some damn food. Like, share, comment, subscribe, share the live. Peace out. Raiders. Damn, it feels good to be a Raider. 1-1. Oh, go check out my last video where I said this is the time we get on a 6-game win streak. We are about to make a run. Look at the teams we play. If we can get quarterback play throughout 4 quarters and offensive line play throughout 4 quarters, man, we coming for the NFL. We about to shock the world. Peace. The fuck? The fuck? All right. Much love.